Welcome to our 800-pound podcast, a podcast where three big guys talk about big topics. This week we are discussing a really big topic that kind of, enhances the 800 pounds of food. We're going to be discussing food, our favorite foods, um, overrated foods, death row foods. Probably going to make some people mad today with some possible bad hot takes, but first, right off the bat, we're gonna jump right into things. We're gonna start discussing favorite foods. Uh, Pritch, what are your favorite foods? What are you feeling?
I feel like I'm gonna get some hate for this, but so like my general favorite food is pizza. Pizza's great. I don't know how you don't like pizza unless you're like, you can't eat cheese or whatever.
Mhm. They have
But
cheeseless.
specifically, my favorite pizza is pepperoni, spicy sausage, and pineapple.
I knew it. I knew when he said that it was gonna get hate for it, like that somewhere on there, uh, pineapple was gonna be.
I'm a
Yeah.
big pineapple on pizza guy. And the funny thing is when I say like pineapple on pizza, they're always like, "Oh, you like Hawaiian pizzas with like Canadian bacon, or as Raptor would call it, ham." And
Yeah, like what?
and I'm like, those pizzas are shit. Like, just give me pineapple with some good meats on my pizza.
Because I mean, is there any other controversial take on pizza other than pineapple on pizza? I mean, really?
I mean, I've seen some pretty weird pizzas, but I think that's at the top of the list.
I've had a pizza with an egg on it. That was the weird one.
Like, I feel like there hasn't really been anything mm, controversial about. Like, there's weird pizzas and all, but don't think I've ever heard anybody be like, "Oh yeah, I didn't. This pizza makes it real." Anytime somebody mentions pineapple, it's instantly like the hot list.
I will say it
I
has to be the canned pineapple. I don't like fresh
Yes,
pineapple on the pizza for some reason. It's different.
a little weird, but I can understand where you're coming from. I
Yeah.
also I love pineapple on pizza. So
Yeah, it's dank.
Y'all are
It's dank,
y'all are
dank,
weird.
dank. And then a
mm,
side note, I did want to include this, although you guys have definitely never had this, and nobody that watches this is probably ever going to have it. Casey's breakfast pizza. So
all right,
Casey's is a general store in the Midwest region. Like, it's literally a gas station,
Mhm.
and they're
Bucky's.
no, it's Bucky's is like huge. Casey's is just like a small. It just looks like a gas station, and then you later realize that their pizza is incredible, specifically their breakfast pizza.
Interesting.
Honestly, we had when I worked at the convenience store, we had breakfast pizza too. That was amazing.
Oh yeah,
Honestly, oh my gosh, it had like four different kinds of cheese on it, sausage. Oh god, bacon. It was so freaking good.
Do you trust gas station pizza though?
this gas station, yes,
Okay.
because they're
I
like
mean,
their slogan is famous for pizza.
I worked at mine, so I trusted mine because I knew where it came from and how it
Yeah.
was made, and it was made pretty fresh too. Honestly, I mean, um, like we got the crust from an actual place. Like they weren't like a big factory or something that made it. It was from like a local place
Mhm.
that gave us crusts and everything like that, and then we made the pizza from there. But it was so freaking good.
Okay, well, while we're here, let's just talk about pizza quickly. I'm a
Okay.
sucker. I'm a sucker for a good barbecue chicken pizza.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
and also, a lot of people like to make fun of me for this, but I think Little Caesars is a top three pizza place because it's hot and it's ready.
Uh,
Uh,
I have to
I don't know.
strongly disagree. I do appreciate
Yeah.
that they have hot and ready pizza,
hmm
but I
We can't talk about like local favorites or like even
Oh,
chains
I no,
within
I
I
don't.
don't
I'm
chains
not
with
talking about that.
I don't think it holds a candle to Pizza Hut, Domino's, Poopy J's, aka Papa John's.
Papa
Uh,
John's.
I don't
Dom.
think it
Wait,
holds a
hold on.
candle.
No,
Domino's is probably the worst commercial pizza out there.
I agree.
Compared to
Domino's is
Little Caesars,
atrocious.
though.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
because
that is a tough one, man. That
Little
is
Caesars,
tough.
Little Caesars knows how much, how much sauce to put on their pizza. Domino's is terrible.
Domino's is probably like one of it's down there. It's tied probably for the worst. I don't know. Little Caesars is right there too, though. I'm not a fan of either one of them.
But I am a big fan of Papa John's though.
Papa John's to me is the best pizza aside from hole in the wall joints or whatever, you know.
Oh, they're all
Commercial
better.
wise,
Papa
yeah.
John's gets a lot of crap, but honestly, I think their biggest downfall is I don't feel like they cook their pizzas long enough, but that might just be like a
How much hate is from their owner? Or
probably
was
a
from
lot.
their owner though.
Well,
No.
Shaq, doesn't Shaq own it now?
Shaq owns it now, so I mean, like,
Like,
there's
is
no
it one
reason
of
to
those
hate it
things
anymore.
that people are like, okay, we're not going to like that pizza just because of how the owner was, or is it that they genuinely don't like the pizza? Because you know those people that'll hop on the hate train just because of like the views or whatever happened with the owner and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah. I mean, some of those old Papa John's ads were phenomenal.
If you want to
Um,
see that Casey's pizza, I put a link in the chat for someone's got a close up image on the old Google.
I mean, it looks like pizza.
Dude, it's so good. I've had a few unhealthy addictions to this in my life. Where I'm
A
just,
few, so like it comes back.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Thus is why we're the 800-pound podcast is what.
Yeah. Actually, right now
Not-
we're about the
not the 500, you know.
right now we're about 815 pound podcast after Christmas for me.
Oh man, but yeah, definitely Little Caesars. Just so I don't know what that is with their pizza, man.
It's so
for
good.
one, I'll say for one, like, also it's a matter of even though everybody can't be like, it's a matter of consistency with their pizza. I have gotten like a good pizza from them, but then I've gotten majority have been like just. So it might be also just the joints that you're getting it from, because you
and
know, if you get it from like, maybe if you get like the best of their best joint that gives 5 stars or something, maybe their pizza is better. But from the one that I got it from for years, it's just been mid
yeah,
to bad.
I will say they do have a terrible barbecue chicken. My favorite commercial pizza of all time is barbecue chicken from Pizza Hut, but
Do you get pineapple on it?
I would. It's usually not an option, and I never order extra things, so
I always got to add it. Pineapple, onion, bacon, whatever. Give it to me.
it's very good. Yeah.
You,
What about you, Shadow? What's your favorite food?
well, it was hard to pick. It was hard to pick one. Sushi's definitely up there, and you know, I'm not Asian if I don't like sushi. Apparently, I wasn't even sure about sushi for the longest time, and then I tried it, and if it wasn't so freaking expensive over here in America, like, it would be something that I ate every single day. The spicy tuna rolls are just phenomenal. I just love them. But that's the reason I would like to take a trip to Japan, because I want to actually see what it tastes like when it's actually made by professionals over there.
Mm-hmm.
The other two are steak and hot wings. I mean, it's just the normal. Though, but my one big like maybe controversial take on hot wings is that I think that Buffalo Wild Wings is garbage. I think
Never had it.
I used
think
to
their
think
wings
that.
are
I think they've gotten
horrible.
better recently, though. But that could just be like a regional thing. I don't know.
I've gotten it multiple times from there. They never put enough sauce on it. They're always like super dry. I don't know. People have like a big thing about how great they are, but I freaking have never liked Buffalo Wild Wings. I always think I've never gotten one bit of good wings from there. So
Are you a
They don't
boneless or traditional guy?
traditional,
I was
honestly.
gonna.
'Cause
Are you a
I feel like-
boneless or a wing guy? Like,
Because like boneless, I feel like is almost just, I don't know. To me,
it's
boneless
just,
is just chicken
it's a
nuggets.
nugget. It's a chicken nugget.
They're
That's all it
S
is.
tier chicken nuggets. They're so good.
Yeah, I feel like boneless wings are just chicken nuggets. Like, I don't think you should even call that a wing, to be honest.
Well,
Like,
maybe that's.
what about it is wing like to me? I mean,
I only get boneless wings, so maybe that's why I have a different opinion of
Oh,
Buffalo. I just the traditional's messy, and like I feel like I get more meat and breading with the boneless. I don't know.
you get more, but you just get more of a different thing. Like, it's not a wing.
I just
You're
like
just
probably get
getting
more
you're just
breading
getting
than anything.
saucy chicken nuggets, which is totally fine.
yeah,
They're
dip it
amazing
in
for what
some
they are.
ranch. Ooh.
Oh, that is
Honestly,
good.
I'd be willing to bet that you get the same amount of meat, actual meat, that you do on a traditional one. I think like the thing that makes it seem like you get more is the thickness of the breading on it.
Yeah. And I think to make it
But
worth it, you got to go on. So I'll go on boneless Thursdays, or because they're buy one get one free boneless
That's the
wings.
most American thing I've ever heard.
Well,
oh,
it
this
makes
Thursday,
the value more worth it. And
Thursdays
then
is always like a day of that. Yeah.
Wings Thursday.
We used to have 50-cent wings on Thursday when I at the place when I lived in PA. Like that was a thing. It was always Thursdays, and I don't know why that is.
their lunch is surprisingly affordable too. Like you can go there and get lunch for like 10, $11, and surprisingly their burgers are above average.
But yeah,
That's interesting.
the only place I can get sushi around here that's like you can get them in like an Asian market, and they're pretty good. Uh, when I lived in PA, it was mostly just a grocery store because they didn't have any places around that really did sushi well. They had a sushi. They had a Chinese restaurant that had like a sushi salad bar type thing, like buffet. They were all right, but you could tell they were just like mass produced made type things that were okay. But it's just so expensive. Like you get most of the time you get like a roll for like $11 or something like that. It's crazy
It's
expensive.
weird that it's so expensive. Like I can go get a nice roll for 6 to $8 here, and that's $4 American.
Yeah, it's not cheap around here. I mean, that's why I don't get them anymore. It's just so expensive
Guys,
to
I've
get
never
them.
had
So
sushi.
Oh, you strike me as a I hate sushi kind of person.
I don't like
you like
seafood in
I
general.
was
Yeah,
gonna say you
there it
don't like
is. Yeah.
fish is why because well, I mean you can get technically I mean a lot of people mistaking sushi for raw fish, but that's not really what makes sushi.
No,
Most of the sushi is because
immature.
of the rice. It's the vinegared rice that makes it sushi.
Grow your
That's
taste buds.
yes, but I mean they have California rolls, which is not any fish in it, as far as I know. They have Philadelphia style, which is cream cheese filling. Um, so they definitely have like alternatives if you don't like fish. But for the people that want to try sushi that aren't necessarily the biggest fish fans, the spicy tuna rolls are the best because you'll probably get less. You won't notice as much that there's actually fish in it. So
Side note,
that's
I know
also
this is a future topic, but I I was getting sushi one day and I had a piece of eel for the first time, and that's now on my top
really.
3
I've never
most
had
hated
it.
foods. Oh, it was just so hard to get down.
Really, what does it taste like? I've always avoided getting eel.
Um, like raw fish, but it was saltier and
Rubbier.
Rubbier,
more
rubbier.
more rubber like.
So a tire, a
The
salty
taste
tire.
electrified his taste buds. Boom.
Yeah, I like things like that are big in Japan that I won't like eel and roe. I can't try like cod roe. It's just like eggs and stuff like that.
Bro, I can't watch people that are like trying to eat like octopus that are still alive and things like squid and things like that. Like I can't do it. It's so
I've never had them alive, but I've had squid before. It's not great.
apparently fried calamari is really good. I don't know.
Octopus, squid, I love all of it. It's so good. I'll
I
eat it
don't.
just raw. It's so good.
I think for me, it's a lot of it is I don't like the texture because it is very.
It's a big texture thing.
Yeah, it's like it's very rubbery. Probably it might be different if it's fried. I don't know. I've never had it fried before, so I don't know if it's crunchy or not.
It's still rubbery.
Yeah, like the rubberiness of it. It's like eating a freaking rubber band or something, and I can't do that. The taste to me, as far as like raw squid or like lightly boiled or something like that, it doesn't really have a taste to me. I don't even think it tastes like anything.
It
To
doesn't
be
really
honest.
taste like anything.
Like it's very tasteless, so I don't understand the appeal to it.
I like it. It makes me feel cultured.
That's the only reason you eat
I
the.
put my pinky up while I eat it.
So you can say, I eat octopus and squid. I mean,
Exactly. Yeah. I
yeah.
am better than you. I want you to know that.
So, what's your favorite cut of steak? You said that you enjoy steak,
I mean, ribeyes are
of course.
easily the favorite, man.
Course.
A rare to medium rare ribeye
Good
is
choice.
like the greatest because probably closer to the rare side than medium rare. Honestly, I like my steak. Just that thing is just almost mooing still.
Cut it off the cow.
Honestly, yeah, yeah, exactly. I don't know. People that I can't look people in the eye that eat it well done because that's just like a travesty. Like, why even get your steak? Why even buy steak if you're just gonna get it like jerky? Basically,
I don't know.
it's disgusting.
Pritch,
But
how do you like your steak?
It depends on the cut. If it's a ribeye, I would say rare to medium rare.
Yeah, okay, good. You passed.
But I feel like some cuts are just like they don't have enough fat to them. So if you undercook them too much, the fat like doesn't the existing fat doesn't render, and it just like the texture is
Yeah,
kind of off.
I agree.
there's nothing better than steak fat too. I love steak fat, man.
Bacon fat.
Steak
No,
fat.
steak
Steak
fat,
fat still to
100%.
me is the best, man. I literally most of the time, I'm not gonna lie, if I get like I try to get like a really fatty steak, and I'll save that till last, man. I'll save the fat till very last because it's just there's something that is so good.
At least you guys can afford meat.
No, we
Or
can't.
beef.
That's why I said. That's why I said none of these things that are my favorite things I haven't had in a long time. Like legitimately, they're just too expensive. I mean, with the cost of steak per pound now, we're talking like $7 or $8 a pound sometimes.
Yeah.
So I don't even know what that. The closest thing I can come to is beef ramen. I guess is about the closest I'm getting to anything beef wise. Uh, or like some toppings on a DiGiorno pizza. That's the basic extent of what I'm getting to as far as meat. Everything else is, you know, noodles of some sort.
So ribeyes in my area are $14.97 a pound at Walmart.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, I believe it.
No. Well, now I'm interested and I want to see what price of my meat is.
So would I.
What's it worth?
I want to know what your meat's worth too, man.
Let's go ribeye. Let's go to the Real Canadian Superstore.
I mean, I've had filet mignon. I like filet mignon stuff too, but
Overrated.
yeah, I mean, for the price you pay for the, it's just not big enough, man. Like, I need something that's gonna fill me up. And these
Ooh.
tiny little freaking,
This
you know,
this entire podcast is just suggestive things we're saying.
I do like you ever get filet mignons with that like strip of bacon wrapped around them?
no, I've never had that.
That makes them a
Sounds
little
like a
better.
rich person stuff.
Sounds expensive.
It sounds
Yeah.
like fat people stuff. It's like what we're talking
right.
about.
So it's really bad here. It's $25 a pound.
Mm-hmm. It's what 23 or 22.
Probably like $21 a pound. You guys.
That's crazy.
So Raptor's got that moolah because he's like, oh, I can afford it.
I can't. I buy pork because it's red meat and you get that iron, but it's not. It's cheaper.
Do love me some pork.
That's what that's what the one thing that I freaking want. That I mean, I guess meat is kind of good for you in a way, some ways, but it's expensive. Man. It's crazy expensive.
Yeah.
I'll eat a steak maybe once every, I don't know, 6 months maybe, if I'm lucky. So, what about you, Raptor? It's your turn.
Well, see, mine's not as interesting because it is just sushi. I absolutely adore sushi. There's a lot of all-you-can-eat sushi places here, which makes it very worth it. So Me and the boys will clear out an all-you-can-eat sushi place.
I was gonna
We
say, like,
won't
sushi isn't very filling, so it's like, how much could you possibly eat? I'm
we
sure it's a
we don't
lot.
clear it out. There's actually a place in my hometown that was all you can eat, and then me and other large men would go there, and they couldn't afford to do all you can eat sushi anymore because it is so expensive. But the place that I go to has a sushi train, if you know what that is. It
No.
is a it is a conveyor belt that runs through the restaurant past every single like every single booth, and you just grab sushi off it as you go, and they just like continuously make it in the back and throw it onto the conveyor belt and let it just run. It's it's I'm a fat kid in heaven there, and they also have like a Chinese buffet in the back, and then you get full on that because that actually is filling. It's just probably like I don't know, like, it's probably my favorite place in the world.
Funny considering how big you are. I mean, I don't know how much, like, do you
What?
gain a lot of weight from sushi? Like, I don't is it
No, it goes away quick.
Well, most of it's
I was gonna
rice,
say
isn't it?
Yeah,
yeah,
And
a
for the
lot of
rice
most part,
rice.
like
is kind of like I think they call it like a simple carbohydrate, so it's pretty easy for your body to break down.
yeah, because like, you would think somebody, like, big would have something that's super like the pizzas and all that kinda stuff, but, like,
No. Oh,
Oh yeah.
sushi. Well, the biggest one here did pick pizza, so
Well, I was at a buffet this weekend, and it's a place called Pizza Ranch, and I ate a lot of pizza, and their cheese sticks are to die for. And they had like potato wedges, and they have fried chicken. I don't normally go for the fried chicken, but it is pretty good.
I mean, that has to be, like, right up there on my list too, though. I love fried chicken. Love fried chicken.
there's a place in my city now called the Rotisserie. It was an all you can eat everything, and like so it had like it had ribs, steak, potato, fries, sushi, crab, like literally all you can eat everything. Like the steak was overdone, but like it was still all you can eat. And they had a surf and turf night where for $70, which seems like a lot of money, but for $70 you can have all you can eat
It's
lobster.
not. It's not
All
for
you
that.
no, but all for $70, all you can eat lobster, which is
That's what
like
I'm saying.
so they also went under because they couldn't afford
I
it.
was gonna say, like, that seems insane, honestly. $70 is not much for, like, all you can eat lobster and stuff, because you figure, like, just probably, what, 2 lobster tails, and you're already getting up there close to it
Okay.
for the most part, and, but yeah, freaking I
So,
love it.
I went there. We went there for a staff party, and it was surf and turf. And my boss said that we all had the option to upgrade to the lobster if we wanted to. So I did, and I ate 7 lobsters in one night. And I know why they can't afford to run
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah, that yeah, lobster especially, like, I mean, you could get all you can eat steak and probably be okay. For one, like, steak's pretty filling, so you're gonna get full pretty quick. Lobster is not nearly as filling, but just as expensive as beef is to
Yeah,
to get and buy. So,
there's
like, yeah,
there's nothing that makes me more sad than hearing like my mom and like other people talk about stories from the coast about how like lobster was a poor people food because there was just so much of it, and I'm like
I
that makes me
wish,
very upset.
I wish it was. I wish tuna was still freaking. So there was a lot of that too. I love tuna.
I hate tuna. Well, I eat the bad tuna, so that's why I hate it. Like the
Oh
canned
yeah,
stuff.
that can too. No, that's not. I meant
That's
like
not tuna.
I meant sushi tuna
Yeah.
type stuff. But yeah, that I don't know why all of the food that I love is expensive. It's just that's the terrible thing about it is I can't ever get it. Is because all the stuff that I don't like anything healthy or cheap.
Wow.
It's unfortunate. Like, I like the food, but as far as like my favorite foods, there's nothing on this list that you can get that's cheap.
No, that's fair. Well, pizza.
See,
Pizza
but
wasn't on
like
my list though.
here, if someone was like, "Oh, you can order whatever pizza you want, it's on me." There's a place here that does like thin cracker crust style pizza, and that's the
Oh,
kind I
I'm
like
not
the
a fan.
most. And like
I'm not a fan.
No.
I'd probably do their like XL cheeseburger pizza, and it's like $26. So
I want the XL.
XL
I want the
cheeseburger.
XL cheeseburger pizza, but give me a thin cracker crust.
Yeah. How does that not just break in half? Like as soon as you pick it up, it's like
well, it's cut into squares instead of triangles.
I don't know. I just can't. I just can't picture like eating a pizza on a saltine cracker.
It's cracker
Every-
style. It's not a cracker.
That's what I've had thin crust before. It to me, it tastes like a freaking. I don't know. I'm not a fan of that. I don't. I think it's because I don't like crunchy. I don't like a lot of crunchy stuff.
They every year, or not every year, every once in a while, Little Caesars has a pretzel crust pizza, and that's probably my favorite pizza.
I had a. I forget where it was that I had a bacon wrapped pretzel crust pizza. I think it was a barbecue. It was a barbecue chicken pretzel, bacon wrapped pretzel crust pizza, and I cannot for the life of me remember it was. It wasn't like a main restaurant. It was like a smaller restaurant. So it was so freaking good though.
Mhm.
But
All right, with that, we will transition to a little bit more of a spicy topic. We're going to talk about overrated food that isn't as nearly as good as the world thinks. Shadow, why don't you tell me what are some overrated foods?
okay, for one, I couldn't think of like just one, but because and it's funny that my list consists of all of the same around the same thing, and the most overrated thing to me is Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving to me is the most overrated thing. I do not think that many things at Thanksgiving taste that good. I like turkey, don't get me wrong, but there's a reason that I only eat it at Thanksgiving. I don't like I'm not a potato person, so I don't like mashed potatoes. I don't like sweet potatoes. Most of the time when I go there, when I go for like a Thanksgiving dinner, a lot of times cuz most of the time we don't get like I don't eat ham or something like that at Thanks. That's usually a Christmas thing for me. Um but when we go there, the only thing I usually eat is the dark meat of the turkey and like green bean casserole. And that's it. Like that's the only thing I'll eat in the entire Thanksgiving. I don't like stuffing. I'm not a fan of I'm not even a humongous fan of turkey. Like I said, I'll eat it once a year. Uh I don't like any kind of I'm not a fan of any kind of potatoes like that aren't fried.
Dude, potatoes are like
Oh,
they're like the god food because you can make so many different things, and mashed potatoes are S tier. They're
I'm
so
honestly
good.
kind of wondering what's wrong with you.
no. Thanksgiving to me, I feel like it's just like one of those things that are, family nostalgia. I don't think if you deconstructed a Thanksgiving dinner and ate everything separately at separate times of the year, I don't think that they'd be as good as people think they are. I really don't. I mean, put them all together, and I think it just brings feelings of like, oh, this is great nostalgic type. But I think separately, I don't think they're that good, and I'm
You're just
not a
not
big fan
okay.
of Thanksgiving. I'm not a big of Thanksgiving, man. Like it's the one holiday that I think has the least good food to eat. I'm sorry, like
I think it's
to me that's
just
just the thing.
I think it's like a conglomeration of food that I love, but I would never cook for myself. And that's
It's most of
why
the stuff you eat once a year. I think 'cause you don't eat stuffing any other year, hardly in year. You don't. How many times do you eat turkey outside of Thanksgiving? How many times, like, do you eat any of this stuff outside of Thanksgiving? I mean, the pumpkin pies, great,
ooh,
because I'm a big pie fan. You know,
pecan pie as well.
okay, you've lost me there because I
Okay.
don't like
Econ.
nuts. I don't like nuts. So,
We
but
we do the dessert for Thanksgiving. We make it's called a pumpkin dump cake, where it's basically like the pumpkin pie filling, but then you put cake batter, like dry cake batter over the top of it, and then you put some butter into that cake batter, and it creates like a streusel topping. It's so
Wow.
good.
real
I feel
pumpkin
more fat.
or canned pumpkin?
What do you who do you think I am?
I
Who
don't
has
know,
real
man.
pumpkin?
I mean, you like canned pineapples, so I think maybe
Maybe he wouldn't like canned pumpkin.
Do you know how much easier it is to eat a fresh pineapple than to eat a fresh pumpkin?
I don't know, because canned pumpkin doesn't even a lot of it doesn't even consist of a lot of pumpkin at all.
Well, no, it's the sugar and the spices that makes it good, not the pumpkin.
But also on my list of overrated things, though, like kind of goes in the same terms, is pumpkin spice stuff. I don't think pumpkin spice stuff is very good. Like they pumpkin spice everything around the holidays, and I personally don't think it's that good. The best thing that maybe I've had is, I don't know, there was like a pumpkin spice Oreo, I think they had, was pretty good. But besides that, I'm never really impressed by it. But to me, and maybe it's just because of the fact that there's a lot of things at Thanksgiving that I'm not a fan of. Like I said, not a fan of potatoes, not a fan uh, of stuffing, stuff like that. If turkey is made right, I can eat it a lot, but most of the time it's really hard to keep a turkey moist, so it can dry out. That's why I usually only eat the dark meat for the most part. Um, so, but I don't know. I personally just feel like Thanksgiving in general, Thanksgiving dinner is overrated because I feel like it's more of like a family gathering, uh, like nostalgic feeling that makes Thanksgiving, and the food itself is just it's mid tier. I mean, I know there's a lot of people that like make really good homemade stuff. Don't get me wrong, but for the most part, everything is pretty mid tier when it comes to Thanksgiving for me. So I personally feel that's the most overrated dinner food
Okay.
in general to me.
I don't know what that's. It's okay that you have that opinion.
I mean, I might have equally bad opinions, so I'm not gonna judge you too much. Like I could live without Thanksgiving dinner, I think. Would I say
Let's
it's
just say, like,
overrated? I don't know. But
how many times do you eat how many times do you eat turkey away from Thanksgiving?
well, aside from deli meat turkey, like basically never, but I've also cooked a turkey before and it's a pain in the ass.
Oh, it's an absolute. That's why. Is it even worth it? Like, is it?
No, it's
I
not.
feel like it's. That's why I'm saying, like, it's just like overrated to spend that much time to cook a turkey over something that's probably not going to be great, like S tier turkey. I mean, unless you're really good at cooking them, most of the time they're going to get dry within like the first hour of having it. So unless you can scarf down the entire thing,
I will say my
I
family puts the giblets in their gravy and that shit grosses me out.
yeah. Gravy is S. I love freaking gravy from like a lot of them makes from like droppings or whatever. There's some that do that, but like
From what?
from like the oh, what is it called? From cooking the turkey
Oh, oh, okay.
drippings.
Drippings. Yeah. So
Yeah,
we're not
The
making shit
dropping.
gravy.
yeah. No, the droppings of the turkey before it's cooked. That's what it is. No, the drippings of the turkey, and they mix it in there with the gravy and stuff, and it that makes it really good. But as far as like the turkey, to cook it for like however long, 12 hours or whatever the hell it
It's such a
takes to
pain,
freaking
man.
cook a turkey, is it really worth it in the end? I
Dude, and you
mean,
gotta
is it
like
so great
you
that
like put it in your fridge to thaw out like 3 days in advance and like
Okay, now here's something I will say though. The good thing about turkey on Thanksgiving is days after after it's to make turkey sandwiches and stuff like that. I like the turkey
Yep.
like that.
Oh
I
yeah.
like it less as a hot cooked turkey and more as a put it in your fridge for a couple of days and then eat it with turkey sandwiches and stuff like that after. But as far as
That's
like
fair.
hot and cooked and stuff, I'm
Hot
just
and
not a
ready.
really big fan. Yeah, yeah. Little Caesar has made or Thanksgiving dinner,
Little Caesar's
but
turkey. That's their new
yeah.
thing. Hot and ready turkey.
But for me, I don't know. I don't think anything is really to me. There's nothing in Thanksgiving that I'd be like, oh yeah, that's freaking amazing, terrific. Besides the pies, probably.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I like. I strictly disagree, but like that's just your opinion.
That's fine. Hey, everybody's allowed to disagree, and I'm sure there are plenty that do. I am sure there are tons of people that disagree. Probably 3/4 of the people that celebrate Thanksgiving. But
at the
this is just
top,
my opinion.
The top of my so I couldn't really think of like singular foods that I think are overrated.
Yeah,
The top of my list is Olive Garden,
Wow.
absolutely.
and it's
I
been
will
this way for years
100%
and
agree.
years. I I don't understand it. I've been to Olive Garden a few times, and I've always been disappointed. Like, yeah, for a free or unlimited breadsticks and salad, that's cool. These breadsticks were pulled out of a frozen bag and thrown on a pan and put in the oven for like 2 minutes. The salad's pretty good. I will give
Yeah.
them that.
I
But
mean, how hard is it to make a salad?
their pasta sucks and it's expensive. And I don't. My wife loves Olive Garden. Like, she hates when I talk shit about it, but like I don't get it.
Man, it's so mid. It's less than mid, kind of, honestly. I will 100% agree with this, and I've had so many bad experiences at Olive Garden where you just pay so much money for just such. I feel like it's pasta that I could make at home, really.
Easily.
Honestly, there's nothing that stands out about their food or anything like that that I'd be like, oh yeah, that's definitely, if I'm going to go out for something like fancy or something like that, more fancy, Olive Garden's a place to go. I too have never understood why that's a big thing.
Yeah. I've never been to Olive Garden, but I don't really have any interest in going.
Do they have them in the Great White North?
They do. There's one in my city currently.
Gotcha. I mean,
Well,
And
maybe you should go there and visit just to see what we're talking about.
well, the fiance really wants to go when she comes here next, so I think we're going to, but I just have no interest.
they do have like an unlimited soup and salad that people love. I'm not a big soup person, but I don't know. And then aside from Olive
French
Garden,
onion.
I think KFC is incredibly overrated.
It's so expensive.
It is.
You really don't get that much chicken for the price.
And I could rattle off 5 places that have way better fried chicken than KFC does.
Oh yeah,
Um,
definitely. Yeah, I mean for sure. I love KFC chicken personally. I mean, I worked at KFC too, and I never got sick of it. I always thought it was really good, but I can definitely see how, as far as price compared to what you get from it, absolutely it is. Because I mean, you get a 16 piece that's doesn't have a great amount of chicken on it or whatever for like $30 or something like that or whatever it
yeah,
is
like
for a.
that's I want fast food, which is fast food is very often cheap. Like
Is it?
yes,
I mean, it's weird that it can be considered. It is fast food, but it's like almost weird that you could consider it fast food because of chicken. It's not. It's not something that's really. I think the problem is that it's chicken is fast food because I'll tell you what, man. Working there, I bet you like most of the time your chicken would be really good there if it didn't sit under the lamps for like 2 hours.
Probably.
But
yeah.
I mean, since it's fast food, it has to be ready to go as soon as somebody gets it. Like it literally sits there. I mean, there was a timer on it of how long it allowed to sit, but it was like a couple of hours. And you know what happens to chicken under lights for a couple of hours? Like it goes from really great because the stuff that I used to get that I was never sick of was fresh. I used to just grab it right off of the thing. I never got it when it was 2 hours sitting in there. So by the time most customers get it, it's probably pretty.
Yeah.
So I can understand that.
I also like
100%.
I don't think their sides are good either. Like the mac and cheese, the mashed potatoes, the biscuits aren't even that good in like the grand scheme of biscuits. I don't know.
A lot of people love the coleslaw though. I don't know why. Like that was a humongous seller was coleslaw, and coleslaw there is the worst to make, man. It is, and it's just like literally, it's just cabbage and stuff in a bag, and then a sauce that's in a gigantic like frozen bowl.
Hey, you know how we can make these vegetables taste good? Let's throw a bunch of sugar and mayonnaise on them.
Yeah, like
I love coleslaw, so
and it's just like we just mix it by hand in a giant fuck thing that lasts all day long. That's how it's made. There's nothing special or nothing great about it whatsoever.
so for me, what's funny is I don't have a meal or a place in mind. I just actually have the specific food. I'm not picky, but I just definitely dislike what I dislike, and next to your guys' mine just is super boring, but I really hate corn, and I will not touch corn. I will not go anywhere near corn. I can't do the smell of corn, the taste of corn, anything to do with corn. Um, I know that's a real boring one, but that was what I had planned.
I feel personally attacked, to be honest with
I
you.
I love sweet corn, man. Sweet corn on
Oh,
the
it just
cob.
tastes like corn, which is so gross.
Oh, I mean, corn is supposed to taste like. What is corn supposed to taste like? No,
Yeah, but sweet corn's got to be sweet, but it just tastes like off corn.
man, corn
I
on the
hate
cob.
I hate
Oh,
corn. I hate popcorn.
What?
popcorn.
Oh,
Like just regular popcorn, or because there's like
regular
many kinds
popcorn.
of popcorn.
The only way popcorn's good is if it's heavily flavored.
dude, that's like my
I mean, 'cause
go-to low-calorie snack. I love
there's
popcorn.
like kettle corn, which I think is better. It's like a sweeter.
It's
Like,
too sweet. It still gets stuck in your teeth.
Oh,
yeah, the stuck in your teeth thing is fucking horrible.
I
I'll
love
give you
me
that.
a popcorn tin with the cheddar and the caramel and the buttered popcorn. Oh my god,
The caramel,
caramel,
the caramel. You're
caramel,
missing a letter. You're forgetting a
caramel,
letter.
caramel.
I don't know. I've always called it caramel.
It's
Uh,
atrocious.
The reduced
as far
sugar
as getting stuck in
popcorn.
your teeth, yeah, that is annoying.
Um, I hate beets, which I know is really random.
What? I
They're
love
gross.
beets.
Oh, they're disgusting.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what any fast food restaurants I hate.
Man,
I had
summer.
a
Summer.
I had a third one just in case,
Mhm.
which you guys kind of touched on this, and it was seafood, and I think it's more in the realm of like lobster and crab, because like everyone I know that I see eating it, like they're just dousing it in butter, and it's like, well, yeah, most things are going to taste good if you douse them in butter, you know.
I don't often don't put my crab or my lobster in butter. I just eat it the way it is because I want to taste it.
Wheat, man. You don't need butter or anything really for it. It's so good, man.
I know it's.
Is there a seafood that you do actually like?
I don't mind salmon if it's cooked correctly.
Oh, I think salmon's overrated. Cooked salmon I think is overrated.
If it's just plain, sure, I can understand that. Depends on how it's cooked.
I
Yeah.
like the texture of it.
Oh,
I know.
Um,
We did Hello Fresh for a little while, and they had like a maple pecan or pecan uh salmon, and it was actually pretty good. I burnt the shit out of the skin, but I just ate the meat.
God. Yeah. Oh man. Sweet. Well, it's really hard not to like corn where I came from in Pennsylvania because like there's so many farms and like in the area that I lived, the biggest thing was corn. Like there's just cornfields after cornfields after
Yep.
hate it.
cornfields, and that's all it was, man. Then I moved to Michigan. It's same thing. Cornfield after cornfield after cornfield. Like that was like the main thing that farms did where I came from, and so it was really hard not to like it. But then like as a kid, thinking of like summers of sweet corn and stuff like that. Oh god, just
I hate
amazing.
corn.
I mean, I'm from the
Like,
corn capital of the world, good old
Yeah.
Iowa. Like, and the reason there's so much corn is most of it goes to your gasoline and like food for cattle and livestock, things like that.
yeah. I mean, where I live is that's corn's huge, and it's everywhere, and I just can't do it. I can't do corn. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I get it though. Like, but it is annoying to eat. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Getting it all up in your teeth and stuff is freaking annoying. But I mean, I understand it though. Like that, some people won't like corn. It's just one of those. I don't know if I ever call it an acquired taste or not, but I can understand somebody not liking it.
So now we'll go to our community question now, which is from the great Rhino. Thank you for your question. He asked,
Professional
"What was
Fortnite player.
a professional Fortnite
Professional
player,
Fortnite.
Rhino.
Yes.
He asked, "What was our favorite food growing up?"
Mine was fried pork chops with white gravy.
Ooh,
It's kind of like a chicken fried steak, except it's a pork chop that's fried up, and then you make like a white gravy in the pan with all the crispies that came off the pork. And I'm fat, but that's
Droppings.
that's the
Yeah,
the
American.
droppings. The
American droppings, pork droppings, even worse.
and the sad thing is, I've tried to make it myself, and I always screw up the gravy, so I don't even try anymore. And like that's what makes the whole meal, to be honest. But that, and then mashed potatoes.
Mm.
Yeah.
So in contrast to Shadow, my favorite food growing up was everything to do with turkey dinner. My family does a big turkey dinner on Christmas Day as well. So, I mean, within pretty close to each other, I get 2 turkey dinners, and if with extended family and stuff, I'm getting like 5 turkey dinners in a season. Oh, it's
That sounds like a
amazing.
nightmare to me.
It sounds like you've never met anyone that knows how to properly cook a turkey, and that's
Oh,
your
I
problem.
have. Trust me, my family knows how to, but that didn't change the fact that I'm not a fan of like anything having to do
It's
with.
all
I
about
like.
putting the
It's
it's all
not.
about putting the butter and the seasoning under the skin.
I'm telling you, man. Like the turkey itself isn't bad. It's not that I don't like turkey. If I'm going to eat something, it's going to mainly be the turkey. I mean, plus I just feel bad not eating it because I know somebody just spent their entire freaking day making the dang thing.
Oh, hold on. Do you not like stuffing?
Oh, I don't like stuffing at all. I'm
Oh, it's like
not a
that
fan at all.
stuffing's like the best part. Oh,
Raptor, did
Stuff-
you in I guess we call it elementary school here. I I don't know if
elementary
that's
school,
okay.
yes.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Well,
yes.
because in Canada they're like, yeah, my kid's in grade 1. It's like, what?
Yeah, grade school, some people call it.
Whatever.
We
Did
don't have grade
you
school, it's elementary, yeah, but
did
yeah.
they ever do like the hot turkey with gravy on potatoes for your school
Oh,
lunch?
I was not allowed to get school lunch, so I would never have known.
stuffing and
Oh
gravy.
man.
That was on the menu. Turkey stuffing and gravy.
That was at the top of the list for cafeteria food at school.
I've never had a cafeteria.
Oh my gosh.
Schools in Canada don't really have cafeterias.
It's kind of funny because that kind of melds into mine, honestly, because like my favorite food growing up was pizza. Uh, and the crazy thing is that we didn't even have it at our house that often because my mother always cooked like, home cooked meals and stuff like that. Like every day we'd have something different. She had like a million freaking recipes. But everywhere else I went there was pizza. Like in elementary school and stuff, every single day there was pizza on the menu, and I usually I ate a lot of um school meals, so they would have like square pizza, regular pizza, round edge pizza, white pizza, like
Ooh, the rectangle ones with the little diced pepperonis.
like they had so much pizza, and then I would go over to friends' house and they would eat pizza and all that kind of stuff. So I liked pizza so much, and it sucked that I never got it at home that much because like I said, we really didn't eat a lot. And then, but the crazy thing is that like you never really appreciated how great home cooked meals are until you don't have home cooked meals anymore. And then when it got to the point where I lived by myself and the main thing I ate was pizza, I really freaking started to miss those home cooked meals back in the day. Uh, because like there's nothing like mom's home cooked meals, man. But
I do you think that, I mean, that's probably like, I can make like a good home cooked meal, but I never want to do all the cooking, you know? Like it is nice to not have to cook anything, and then like, oh, here's a hot meal that I just made.
mm,
Thanks,
Mhm.
mom.
yeah, well, my mom was like one of the best cooks, and so I kind of feel shitty the fact that like I never appreciated it as much as I did until after I left the house and it wasn't there anymore. But I always wanted pizza, and pizza was like my favorite thing. But I don't remember us having it that much. I don't remember us ordering it that often. The only times I would usually get it are every once in a while if we ordered it, or at like football games, like high school football games or something like that. We would get it out of the booth there. But other than that, it was mostly home cooked meals. But for sure, pizza was like my favorite growing up. Just pepperoni pizza too. At that point I didn't have like a love for a ton of different toppings or anything like that. It was just
Mhm.
strictly pepperoni. And we had a few really good, like when I would go to my cousins or something like that, we had a few really good, like, you know, mom and pop type places around that made really good pizza. Since we lived in an area that wasn't really, you know, populated or anything like that, all we really had was those kind of places. Honestly, like the biggest thing we got was when we got a Domino's eventually, but besides that, mostly every place was like smaller restaurant type places. Ah,
Okay, with that, we'll go to our final question. This is an interesting one. It is our death row last meal. We've hit on all of it. I'd want some dynamite rolls, some Philadelphia rolls, probably some surf and turf, lobster and steak. Um,
and steak
I
is
w-
definitely one.
I would want to be that prisoner that is just super annoying with my request, though.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I feel like they would just take me to the chair. They'd be like, Never mind. He's not getting his last freaking meal."
Yeah,
I'd be like, "Hey, I want you to travel all the way to Japan and get me some handmade sushi
Do they have like a
rolls from."
limit to how much you can get? Like,
I have no idea, honestly. I have no clue how that goes. I'm sure that they don't have a limit to what you can. I'm sure they have a limit of what they'll do, though. Like, they're definitely not going to go way out of their way to go get you like something from particular place or something like that. Maybe they
well,
will, unless it's like KFC or something.
if I end up in prison, I better be in Iowa because two of the
Oh
things on
man.
there, you got to be there.
Oh man. In Florida, the meal must the meal must cost less than $40, and in
What?
Oh,
Oklahoma, the limit is $15.
$15? That's like nothing. You can't get anything with that. You can get
I
a
know.
head of lettuce or something.
I can work with 40. I think I could work with, but 15. That's. I mean, what do you do for $15?
Uh,
Microwave or oven pizza or something. I don't know what the hell do you even get for $15. That's at a restaurant even or somewhere really good, decent even. Jesus, that's terrible, man. Well, if we get arrested on death row, don't get it there, man, because you ain't gonna get a very good last meal.
Well,
yeah.
most
Honest, I
states
don't know.
don't have the death penalty, right? Like,
No idea how many do now. I'm sure that a lot have gotten rid of it. But like, if the fact was you were allowed to have whatever you wanted without a budget, I mean, a steak from the restaurant Delmonico's is really good. I don't know how many people know about this Delmonico's. It's one of the best steak places in the country, not the world, but uh, then probably some sushi. That's a weird mix of foods to put together, but I guess it doesn't matter since it's your last meal. It definitely wouldn't be Thanksgiving dinner, that's for sure. Probably sushi, steak. Oh man, either salad or something like that. I mean,
you're getting a salad?
why not,
What's
dude?
wrong
Like,
with you, man?
if you could get whatever you wanted and you didn't have money, why not get it? I love Caesars, like a steak Caesar salad or something like that. Love it, love them. I like salads personally
I mean, they're
myself.
good. I like there's some
Eh,
like I had a taco salad before we started this tonight, but like I just in the grand scheme, this is your last day. Are you sure you want
Yeah, but
salad?
yeah, if you combine it with everything else, like I'm combining it with sushi, steak, hot wings, and stuff, why not a salad on the side too? Like, what's wrong with that? Why does everything have to be like the crazy expensive, something like that.
I don't get it.
I personally like steak Caesar salads, honestly. So I would definitely ask for one of those. I mean, some people have asked for a lot weirder stuff. So
That's fair.
I would honestly probably just ask for, if we're talking $15 limit, I'm just asking for a pizza.
what if there was no limit though? Like, what would you get if there was no limit?
You want a hot and ready pizza right before they get you all
Yeah,
hot and
Little
ready?
Caesars.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
I'm going.
I don't think I should be shamed just because I like salad. I
I'm
mean, what's
shaming
wrong
you.
with that? Yeah, I mean, I don't get it, man. Like, I mean, if I could eat salad all the time, I would. But for one, that's just it messes with my stomach something fierce. And two, it just doesn't fill me up at all. Salad doesn't fill me up at all.
Lettuce goes
I could
bad
eat
really quick. That's my problem with it.
Mhm.
like I like in a gigantic because like at work we got they got us Olive Garden, unfortunately, for well, I think it was for Thanksgiving for the whole place, so they needed to buy in bulk or whatever. But they left us like a gigantic bowl of freaking salad. I mean, it was huge. And I ate that whole thing in one night. Like,
I mean, Olive
and
Garden
it
does have a
didn't
good
bother me.
salad. I will give them
Yeah.
that.
So I took that home. I just took the entire freaking giant container home with me and ate it in one night because like it just flat out doesn't fill me up at all. Salad just doesn't do it for me. That's why I never spend money to get it, even though I love salad a lot. It's just because I would have to eat so much of it, and in the end, it wouldn't be very cost effective to buy to get it. Like, because I can't just eat lettuce and salad. Like, I like to have tomatoes in it and cheese, and
I prefer
Yeah.
some meat in there, grilled chicken, or like the taco salad I had was really good. Just some ground beef and cheese, whatever.
and that's how you turn like something healthy into it. Just is really expensive to me. That's
Mhm.
why I just don't. I would probably, for the price of what it would take for me to make a salad that fills me up, I could probably get a couple of steaks, honestly.
So I would
So,
be going. Um, there's a burger place in Iowa called Bebop's. It's like my favorite fast food on the face of the earth. Every time we're in town, we go get that on our way out. I'm going a double cheeseburger and fries from Bebop's. I'm going to Casey's breakfast pizza, bacon, not sausage. And then I'm getting a cheesecake, just a plain
Ooh,
cheesecake
sounds terrific.
with that
Actually.
graham
that's
cracker
fair, yeah.
crust.
Mm.
Maybe some
That
cherry
sounds terrific.
topping.
Now you lost me.
No, I agree 100%.
You know
Cheesecake is
the stupid
greatest.
thing is I could just like tomorrow night I could just go do something kind of like that.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't have to wait till I'm about to be murdered. I can just go get food, you know.
about to be murdered. Is it murder? I don't know if that's considered. Probably most likely you were the one that did that in order to get there. But cheesecake, like right now my sister's learning to make it. My aunts made it. They've all made or know how to make homemade cheesecake. Dude, it's so freaking good, man. Just a regular freaking cheesecake. Is so freaking amazing. So my favorite strawberry swirl though.
It's good.
Personally.
I honestly I usually get the variety pack. The only one I'm not a big fan of is like the double chocolate ones. They're just too rich.
I am of the belief that cheesecake is very good. I love cheesecake, but it all tastes the same.
Uh,
So if
even
I
with the toppings.
so if I gave you a plain cheesecake and one with like caramel and chocolate and like chocolate chips on it and you ate it, you'd be like, oh, these taste the same.
It would taste the same with like a little bit of flair.
Interesting.
I mean, they have the same base, sure, but I mean, it depends on what it is because I've had like different kinds of cheesecakes that aren't just like the same base. They have stuff like coffee mixed into it, stuff like that.
Mm.
I mean, I eat
That
it
are
so
really
fast I
good.
don't taste it anyways. So You're probably
He
right.
doesn't even chew it. He just puts it in his mouth and just swallows the whole freaking thing. His teeth have no idea what cheesecake is.
Yeah, now I want cheesecake in the worst way.
I do really want cheesecake right now.
Just deep throat that thing.
It's expensive.
Yeah, it is.
Even to make it, it's expensive. Like, I mean, little like blocks of cream cheese aren't cheap.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying like all the foods that I really really want to eat are all just so stinking expensive. Like, is there a favorite cheap food?
Kraft mac and cheese.
Hate Kraft mac and cheese.
Okay, Velveeta shells and cheese. Is that better?
Sure.
I when it comes to like here's the another like take that I have that a lot of people probably I mean Fritz might agree with me, but like I prefer um the powdered cheese that you get to homemade like actual mac and cheese stuff. For me, I love for some reason I don't know the stuff that comes with like in craft boxes or something like that powdered cheese stuff. I don't know what it is about it. I absolutely freaking love it, and I would take any kind of mac and cheese with that on top of it over like a homemade mac and cheese. I don't know why it is. I think it has more taste for one.
It's a very American thing of you to say, sir.
Well,
But
what can I say?
I will say I do think like not boxed mac and cheese. Like if you make homemade mac and cheese, it's usually better than boxed. But most of those that taste good have Velveeta in them, which is not any better than powdered cheese. You know, it's just fake cheese.
Like a lot of times, I don't even completely when I eat the powdered stuff. I usually don't even fully mix it in with the macaroni. I'll usually leave it a lot of it, like half of it or fourth of it, like raw in there, and just eat it like that. I don't know what it is, man. That powdered stuff is just so good.
That's a little weird. Do you ever get the shaped ones? I think the shaped ones taste better than the original.
The shaped one with the macaronis.
Yeah, like the
they're
kid
like
shapes,
dinosaurs or something.
They're like SpongeBob or like whatever. I don't know. It's changing.
I don't know. I don't think I've ever really paid attention to that, honestly. But like, I don't know. There's not many like I have to like ramen because it's like the easiest cheap food there is. But
This is the fattest conversation I've ever heard in my life.
but I mean honestly though, how much like cheap healthy food is there? I mean that you could eat that's actually going to fill you up or something like that.
What'd you
Is
talk
there
about in
one?
your podcast today, honey? I don't know, mac and cheese.
I mean, we talk about food is all you need to tell her, you know?
I think the closest thing I could think of is rice, but like you're not eating rice by itself. It's going to be with something. But like
You
rice
can do
is
a lot with rice.
yeah, it's cheap and fairly filling. Like but yeah, you're going to put something else with it that's probably expensive.
I mean, that's another weird food of mine that I eat because I don't eat it normally like probably normal people do. And it's something that I have done since I was I don't know how old, but how I eat rice is with butter and brown sugar.
That's probably good. I got to be honest with you. I don't
It is extremely good, but I don't often eat rice. Yeah, like I don't often eat rice plain, like just plain rice. Usually, if I have it, it'll be with butter and brown sugar.
I made some cilantro lime rice this weekend and it was dank.
But that is true. Like you don't.
Do you like cilantro, Shadow?
I don't know if I've even had cilantro before. I've heard of them, but I don't know exactly what it is.
I like it,
with
but
you.
too much of it is not a good thing.
Is it like some fancy spice or something? Like I've heard of
Not
people
really.
talking about it, but like
The reason it's such a big deal is you either love it or you think it tastes like soap.
I don't know if I've probably had it, but I just didn't know that's what it was because I've never eaten it by itself. But yeah, I mean, if anybody knows like a really cheap, filling, healthy food, just let me know, man. I would love a cheap, healthier food, but I can't find one that'll outdo like a $5.99 pizza. It's just
I wish I could pay $5.99 for a pizza.
You can do
So, like,
pancakes pretty cheap.
Yeah.
you have to be able to cook somewhat, though.
Oh my god, dude! If you
You
can't
do
cook
not need to
pancakes, you are
make the batter like it tells you to, and then pour it
dude.
in
Come
whatever
on.
size you want.
without burning it or something. Like
Who's burning pancakes?
legitimately, I screwed up spaghetti. We're talking about, so
You
like
probably burn water.
burn water. I made a spaghetti once. Like there's a lot of people that know, but I made a spaghetti once that it was a really long time ago that we messed up. My friend and I messed up so bad that we needed to get rid of it quick. This is when I was younger, so we dumped it into my backyard, and it it became harder than a rock and sat there for 2 years.
So how exactly did you mess it up? Like, what was messed
I
up
don't
about it?
know. It was just water and freaking spaghetti in a
So,
pot.
so like it was just the noodles. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, just the noodles. There was nothing
Right.
else.
Were they overcooked? Were they undercooked? Did they stick
I don't know.
together? Did they?
I don't know if they cooked.
They literally have no idea what happened. I mean, we're talking about when I was probably like 12 or 13 years old or something like that.
Okay, but you're
All I know is we went into the pot, looked into like it was still water in it, so it wasn't like cooked all the way down to nothing. It was still like quite a bit of because this was a big pot that we had, and it was just sitting like a rock at the bottom of a bunch of water. Like it wasn't floating, it wasn't doing anything. It like went like this and then just went and sat on the bottom. By the time we emptied all, we tried to put it into like a colander or something, and it wouldn't come out. And so we had to take it outside, and we were just like shaking and dumping it, and it came out like a rock and just was like, and it sat there. No animals would eat it or anything. Like it just sat there for 2 years like a rock. It never got eaten. It was just so horrendous looking over time, and I still have no idea what the heck happened with that one. But I didn't make
Wow.
spaghetti since then, so
You know what one of my pet peeves is? When people get a pasta with Alfredo and they just default to calling it fettuccine Alfredo, even if it's not fettuccine noodles. Or they'll do like a noodle that isn't spaghetti with meatballs, and they'll be like, "Oh, it's spaghetti and meatballs," but it's like rigatoni or some shit. Like it's just the smallest thing, but like it pisses me off for some reason.
That
I think
also
a
sounds
lot of
like an
people can't tell the
American thing.
difference. Like, how many people can tell the difference between noodles? A lot of times. I mean, there's a lot of that are easy to tell the difference between because of the shape of them. But
I mean, the
if
popular
you gave me,
ones I can, but like,
I mean, you probably, me personally, unless they were like different shapes, if you just gave me a whole bunch of like the same round type of noodles or whatever, I probably couldn't tell the difference.
well, they are different shapes. That's why they have different names.
Because some of them are, thinner, thicker, whatever, you know. But I don't know. I probably couldn't tell the difference, nor would I know what most of the names of them are.
Shadow, I need you to try and make pancakes soon. You don't even have to do the ingredients from scratch. Like you could buy a box of pancake mix and you just add water to it. Like it's
Okay, here's a number one. I don't like pancakes.
oh god.
Number one,
Okay.
I don't like pancakes. I'll eat them, but they have to be like so swimming in syrup that it's probably not even worth being a pancake.
He doesn't like
I
cheap food, I forgot.
I don't like pancakes. I love what I will eat. I like waffles, and I like if I'm gonna eat breakfast, it's probably gonna be French toast.
French
Like
toast is very good.
French toast is besides bacon, French toast is numero uno as far as foods. Pancakes is like way near the bottom. It's probably like bacon, French toast, eggs, stuff like that.
See, the
I
reason
do
I
not
said
like pancakes.
pancakes are a lot easier to make than French toast or waffles. That was
They
kind
might
of
be, but even if I made pancakes, what would I do with them?
eat them.
I don't like them. I
Eat
don't like them. I don't like them. Why would I eat them? I would literally be wasting money to make something that I don't even like. So, I mean,
What
you'd
is
have to
wrong
fix
with
it.
you? Who hurt you?
I'd never made a cake before. I don't know. Box cakes. I don't know. Just pancakes. They're unless you eat them right away and cover them in syrup, they just get dry and crappy. I don't care what pancake it is; they all get like that. They absorb everything.
I'm starting to think
Because
that
eating a
everything that
giant
you
sponge.
eat gets dry right away, which is probably user error.
It doesn't get dry
There's a
right
joke
away.
in there somewhere.
It doesn't get dry right away. I just think it's easy to get dry for pancakes. For me, they just absorb everything.
Mhm.
So like even if you pour a ton of syrup on it, it absorbs it real fast.
Yeah, and then it's
Mhm.
and then it's mushy. Like it doesn't dry up.
No, they still are like
You have
they can still
evaporating
be.
syrup. Like I'm so confused.
I don't know what to tell you, man. Like I've just never been a pancake fan ever. I'll get them I'll eat them if I have to. If it's like the only breakfast food that they have, I'll get them. But I mean, I'd much prefer to get like eggs or something. If I have to cook anything, I can cook dippy eggs, sunny side up eggs.
Get dippy eggs.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just what they've always been called for me.
One weird thing is I'm surprisingly good at cooking eggs, but I don't like eating eggs by themselves. Like no matter how they're cooked.
I
It's
can see
weird.
that.
But I
Eggs
don't
are
know.
something.
I worked in a
Eggs are
restaurant
something
for a
that's
while.
probably. But yeah, so sunny side up or dippy eggs for me or whatever. But pancakes, no, they're like near the bottom of my breakfast tier list.
It's crazy.
I've never heard the term dippy eggs. Is that like a
Never heard.
is that just
I
what you
don't know.
call them, or is that like a regional thing that people refer to them
I
as?
honestly don't know. That's what I've always known them as since I was a kid. Maybe it's because like I don't know. Maybe it just became like a name that we had just because like you always dip things in them. Because like I always dip my toast and stuff in it. I couldn't honestly tell you the origin or if it's a thing outside of even my. I don't know. I know that my family does, and I don't know if it's
Dippy eggs.
Dippy eggs cooked in the bacon droppings.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Give me the droppings of any animal, and it makes the gravy better. That's what makes the gravy. Any droppings of an animal.
All right. That hurts.
But yeah, I figured my take would probably be the most because even though Pritch thought that his pineapple one, I had a feeling that Thanksgiving was going to be the one that was going to do it because I know how many people just love their Thanksgiving.
The weird thing is, like, if you put a poll on the internet, people would be far more outraged by pineapple on pizza.
It'd probably be pretty close. I think it'd be pretty close because I think that's because people are thinking of the food in general and not. I think Thanksgiving dinner they're always going to be associated with Thanksgiving in general. You know what I mean? Like the get together of your family and all
I'm
that
not
kind of
there to
stuff.
talk to anybody. I'm there to eat the food.
Yeah.
That's the thing is like I think no, if you put a pull up for Thanksgiving dinner or something like that, people might be appalled of that because they're thinking of the actual like get together of Thanksgiving dinner with your family and all that kind. They're not thinking of like each individual food that you're eating. So I think it might be pretty even between pineapple and Thanksgiving, honestly. But if they would really think about it and think about things in differently, like the freaking stuffing, the turkey, the whatever mashed potatoes or whatever, in separate ones, I think they would realize that Thanksgiving's not as great as it. The dinner, at least, part of it isn't as great as.
Well, the
I
variety
think
is
it
part
is.
of the appeal.
Oh, the variety's all bad stuff, though.
Like you get your corn and your potatoes, and you get your sweet potatoes dripping on your turkey, and the cranberry sauce is just all over everything, and your roll is
Cranberry
soaked up everything. And like, yeah,
I'll eat the rolls.
You mean the buns?
rolls,
Rolls.
dinner rolls.
Dinner rolls, yeah.
Not a thing here.
Yeah, I'll eat the dinner rolls with butter, the dark meat of the turkey, and corn. Like a lot of people make baked corn, which is pretty good. Like I don't know what that was, corn and eggs or something like that. Something like that, but
Sounds
I'll eat,
disgusting.
I mean, for you, yeah, absolutely it does. But yeah, I like Thanksgiving as far as getting together with your family. I do not like Thanksgiving as far as the food. I think it's, but
All right.
that's my opinion.
Raptor, you want to
Yeah.
wrap us up here?
Yeah, with that, I think we'll end it here. Thanks for coming and watching our podcast, listening to us talk about food and talk about. I just have some bad takes about Thanksgiving.
Wow. And your bad takes about pancakes. So
that's that's a okay. Sure. Anyways, we will be back next week at the same time with another controversial episode. Have a good one. See ya.
Thanks, guys.
thanks. See ya.